Welcome to Dental Diva's Guide to Sterilization, where the jewels are buzzing, the smiles are dazzling, and the glam is floss-tastic. Get ready, these divas don't just clean teeth, they slay cavities with style. When you first walk into sterilization, you should place your transport bin in the red zone. The red zone indicates where dirty instruments are placed so there is no cross-contamination. There is a one-way flow from dirty to clean. Next, you should remove your gloves, wash your hands. You should always be in full PPE when walking into sterilization. That includes a gown, mask, gloves, eyewear, and your utility gloves. It is important that we wash our hands good to remove any bacteria we might have carried in so we don't transfer any while we try to clean our instruments. Always wear utility gloves when handling dirty instruments to avoid any sharp incidents. As you remove your instruments from the transport bin, make sure nothing is sticking out of the cassette and your instruments are free of debris. The cassette should be placed in the hydrum. Handpieces must never be placed anywhere but the sterling. This machine cleans and lubricates them in 2 minutes. Hydrum reaches a temperature of 180 and runs for 27 minutes. It uses detergent and high-speed water to remove any debris. Always check the detergent to make sure it is full. Loose instruments are placed in the ultrasonic cleaner, which is also used to remove debris and biofilm. This machine runs for about 6 minutes. The ultrasonic should be filled and emptied every single day. We place a cleaning tablet at the beginning of each day, and we run it with that one load to assure the tablet has dissolved. Now go ahead and place our instruments. Those are running. We can go ahead and clean out the utility box with cavi wipes. We clean it twice to assure there's no debris left behind while never placing on the counter since the counter is still considered dirty. We will now place it in the designated blue area to show it is clean and ready to use. At this point, we will wash our hands one more time and re-glove so we can begin labeling our sterilization pouches. Pick out a pouch for each item, making sure it is big enough with 2 inches on each side to allow heat to flow through each item. Each pouch must include the initials of the assistant, the date, which sterilization device was used, and the number of the load. Place our utility gloves back on. The sterling and ultrasonic should be complete. Carefully unscrew the handpiece and wipe it down with a cavi wipe to assure there is no leftover debris or oil and place it on the pouch. Place it on top of the pouch to fully allow it to dry before we place it inside to avoid wicking. Ultrasonic has ran, loose instruments will be removed from the ultrasonic and rinsed under water to remove any leftover cleaner, and we'll place them in the dryer, which runs for 5 minutes. It is important to dry them to avoid any corrosion and wicking of the pouches. To start the dryer, wave your hand underneath the sensor. Again, be sure to wipe down your utility gloves after each use to avoid cross-contamination. Once the instruments are dry, we can go ahead and remove them from the dryer, still wearing our utility gloves since they are still considered dirty. Now we can go ahead and place each instrument in their designated pouch, making sure they are fully dried. Please make sure to place any hinge instruments open to avoid any corrosion. We'll now begin loading the STATA, making sure we place everything paper side down. This will run for 14 minutes and it will reach a temperature of 275 degrees. Please make sure that the STATA has enough water while not overfilling it. To start this machine, hit pouches and then start. Before running the machine, make sure the water levels are not too high or low, as this can cause it to overfill and spill or not run properly. At this point, the hydrum should be done. We can remove our cassette and place it in its proper packaging. Again, making sure there is enough space for the heat to properly flow through. We will now begin filling the autoclave, making sure packages are paper side up. Again, you always want to make sure to check your water levels and refill them if needed to. The autoclave will run for 45 minutes and reach a temperature of 275. Once a week, we want to complete the biological monitoring. To do this, place a vial inside a sterilization pouch and place it inside the autoclave and let it run on a normal cycle. We always want to leave another vial sitting out to use as our control group. To start the autoclave machine, we want to hit pouches and start. Cycle is ran, take it out, place the vial in the incubator, and break the seal. Doing this can help detect spore growth. Keep accurate records of the test results because it shows the sterilizer's ability to kill organisms. Keeping accurate records is very important as it helps protect the patient and staff from disease. While both sterilization machines are running, this is a good time to wipe down every surface you've touched to ensure safe, clean area and no cross-contamination. We will begin recording the autoclave load on the sterilization sheet. This data sheet is important to ensure that the machines are all running correctly. We will now wash our hands one more time as the autoclave and statum are now done, and we want to assure we have no cross-contamination since the instruments are now considered sterile. Is fully done sterilizing and drying. Make sure the pouches are fully dry before placing them in the blue zone. Make sure the indicators on the pouches have changed colors, indicating they are now sterile. We'll do the same thing with the statum, also making sure they are fully dried to prevent wicking and making sure that the color indicator has changed, indicating that they are sterile. Statum has a USB chip that records when it was ran, so there's no need to record. Each day, the ultrasonic must be fully dried and cleaned down with cabby wipes to avoid any leftover debris or any bacteria forming. When finished with everything, make sure to do one final wipe of all surfaces you have touched or were around. This assures the area is clean and removing any cross-contamination. Make sure to always wash your hands and remove PPE before leaving the area. Congratulations, you have now completed the Dental Divas course on sterilization.